Hey guys, how's it going? It's Molly. I'm here today to chat about some makeup that I was absolutely loving in the month of November. So if you were curious about that, then just keep watching. Okay, first product that I want to talk about, and this one was kind of surprising because I feel like I talk a little bit of smack about this brand. But this is the Morphe Glamour Bronze in the shade Originator. I pulled this in from my Shop My Stash, my most recent Shop My Stash. So this is kind of spoiler alert for my next one that's going to be coming up on Friday. I really like this. I would say this is one of the better drugstore bronzers that I've tried in quite some time. One of my favorite drugstore bronzers, sorry, I'm tripping over my words, is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I love it. I love the smell. I love the effect. It looks great. But what I don't love is Physicians Formula recently started selling in China, opting to test on animals instead of remaining cruelty-free. They have been cruelty-free for decades and unfortunately no longer are. So I cannot purchase the butter bronzer anymore. I still have one. This video is not about that. My point is, I really, really like this. I feel like it's on par with the butter bronzer formula. I may be crazy. I don't know. It is the bronzer that I'm wearing today. It blends in great. It's a great color for me. Truly, those are the two things that really matter for bronzers. Is it blendable? Does it look good on you? Yes, good. Do it. It is a matte formula. It's a giant pan. I wonder if this is dupeable for like the Marc Jacobs one. I don't have the Marc Jacobs one. The Omega Bronze. Is that what it is? I think that's what it is. But it's great. In fact, I'm thinking after my current project pan is over, I kind of want to keep doing it because spoiler alert again, I'm liking that version of project panning. I think I might pull this one in. So I've really enjoyed using this. I thought that I was going to miss using my baked bronzer from Milk Makeup because I love me a good cream bronzer, but I haven't missed it. So that is pretty telling that this is a bomb product. Next. Oh. Okay. Part of me feels like I shouldn't put this in a favorites because I truly have not used it a ton, but it's not because of the product. It's through no fault of its own. You guys, this is the Melt Cosmetics blush. Is it a specific kind? Digital Dust Duo Blush in the shade Raw Honey. If you guys watched my Sephora haul video, this was in that. Oh my God, it's just so pretty. Sorry, I had to pause there for a second because our storm door it doesn't shut anymore. It got caught by the wind a few years ago and it bent the component that helps it close. Anyway, so the wind just caught it and made this horrible screeching noise. So that's why there was a jump cut. Why am I explaining that? It doesn't matter. Here's the blush. It's really, really pretty. The only reason I did not use this every single day this month is because I started the project pan and I have a blush in my project pan that I got a fair amount of use out of. And then I was pulling blushes in for my Shop My Stashes and I was trying to use those too. So I probably used this a total of like a week, but it was long enough to know that it is gorgeous. And I want every shade, even though I probably don't need every shade. I'm not going to get every shade, but this is one of those products where I feel like I need to get a backup. And I don't buy backups generally as a rule. Like it just isn't my thing. Yeah, this is backup status for me, for a non-backup buyer. The next thing is an eyeshadow palette. The Natasha Denona Mini Glam. I pulled this in for my most recent Shop My Stash, and you guys, These are fantastic. It's what I have on my eyes today. I'll come a little bit closer so that you can see. I'm wearing all these 4 shades. So I've got, this is my transition, this is my deepening shade, this is on the outer portion of my lid, and this is on the inner portion of my lid. These, if you're wanting to try Natasha Denona and you're not wanting to spend $65 to $120 to $239, I think is what her largest palettes cost. These are great. They're 25 bucks. She has maybe 6 or 7 of these mini palettes at this point. These are fairly normal eyeshadow pan size. Well, what is normal? You get a good amount of product, right? You get plenty. I feel like even if you were to use this every day, you would get like a lot of use out of it. There's a lot of life in these little guys. So, they're great. And I don't know that I can tell a difference between this and her other formulas. I don't know if there is a difference in the formulas. I had heard that the mini Lila palette was totally different than the big Lila. I don't know. I have big Lila. I don't have mini Lila. But so I have no idea. I don't know. I can't speak to formula, but what I do know is I don't notice a difference between these, the minis, and the larger palettes. I hope I'm making sense. So yeah, it's a great way to try the brand. Really beautiful products. The mattes are blendable. One thing so when I first bought this, I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get a complete look out of it because this shade looks really light. It builds up on itself gorgeously. So you can get a nice true transition shade out of this. And then this blends into it really beautifully also. Sometimes with some mattes, it's difficult to blend like a deeper color into the lighter color. Sometimes deeper colors don't really blend is what I'm trying to say. That's not the case. This blends great. You can diffuse it out so that it's a lighter brown. And you can build it up on itself so it's nice and deep and sultry. And then the shimmers, Natasha Denona shimmers are fantastic. And yeah, you've got a great complete palette. This is a complete palette right here. Okay, I'm just gonna stick with eyeshadows. So in my first Shop My Stash for the month, I pulled in these 2 shadows. And the first one that I'm gonna talk about is the Marc Jacobs Omega shadow in the shade Daddy-O. It's a perfect mid-tone brown. It really, really is. Really, really. So that's it right there. Now I did just put some lotion on my hands because again, I think it's just a way of life. My hands are just dry. So that's on top of lotion that has been rubbed in. Well moisturized hands, let's say that. Okay, so really pretty. You can sheer it out depending on the brush that you're using. You can sheer it out, build it up. You can get a complete look just with this one shadow. But as I mentioned in my Shop My Stash, I was using it with this shade here. This is the shade Lounge by Urban Decay. I just dropped mine and it broke. So I do need to repress, which is devastating. But this is one of those gorgeous blue-brown duochromes. I feel like everybody needs this. Is it brown or is it purple? I think it pulls more brown on the lids, so we'll go with that. But here it's pulling a little bit plum. Anyway, maybe it's like a plummy brown. I digress. I feel like you need this. Maybe you don't need this, but I personally love it. I find it to be one of the more unique shades that I have in my collection. Sometimes with blue-brown duochromes, they don't quite show up on the eye. Like I'm thinking of the original Wet n Wild Comfort Zone palette. That one was just frustrating to use because I felt like I had to keep layering and layering and layering to get it to the intensity that I was wanting. Whereas this one, no, you don't have to do that. Obviously, if you apply it wet, it's going to be more intense. So that's always nice. But you can also just apply it dry and have kind of a hint of, not even a hint, it's pretty impactful dry also. So I personally really like that. Now, as far as these like singles from Urban Decay, I think they're like $20 or $22, maybe $19, somewhere around the $20 mark, which is stupid expensive, truly. For one shadow, that's kind of dumb. So, and they have a ton of shades. They have a ton of mattes, a ton of shimmers. I personally don't think that I would ever purchase a matte like this. Now, that being said, this Marc Jacobs one I got on super sale. I think it was only like $13 when I purchased it. So it was like, that's different. Maybe get these on sale, I think. But what I was saying is, I think for me personally, I'm only going to purchase these if I'm getting a shade that maybe I'm not finding everywhere else. So it has to be somewhat novel. It can't just be like a run-of-the-mill matte brown or matte black eyeshadow, you know? Oh man, I'm so bummed that I dropped that. Now there's shadow all over my table. But as I was saying, if I'm going to spend the money, it has to be something novel and interesting for me. And this definitely fits the bill. Okay, the next product that I want to talk about is a Lippy. This is the Collab Matte Addiction Liquid Lip Color in the shade Nonstop. What I love about this is the shade itself, not necessarily the formula, although the formula isn't bad. I would say it's somewhere between Ofra liquid lipsticks, which are amazing, to ColourPop liquid lipsticks, which are terrible. Oh, my personal opinion, I don't like them. I find this one to be, the comfort level is somewhere in the middle. It's got a great wear time. It lasts for hours. It doesn't transfer. That being said, I personally hate the feeling of dry lips. So pretty much any time that I'm wearing a liquid lipstick, I'm eventually going to be reaching for a gloss to put on top, which makes it not transfer proof and it doesn't last as long, but it still lasts a fair amount of time. So I do have this on today. I have a gloss on top, which I thought about bringing the gloss in as one of my favorites, but I didn't want this video to be 1,000 years long, so I had to pare down a little bit. But anyway, this is a great shade. They've got, I don't know how many shades they have. They've got quite a few. You can get Collab Beauty at Sally Beauty. And I've got a couple things from the brand and I like everything that I've tried, which is only a couple things, but I like it. So definitely want to try more from Collab. Okay, and the last thing that I'm going to talk about is a fragrance. And this is the Elizabeth and James Nirvana perfume. My bad. It's the Nirvana Bourbon perfume. I thought that I was purchasing or repurchasing the Nirvana perfume that I got on our honeymoon. We went to Hawaii and I just have this scent memory of this. Let me back up. Getting ahead of myself. We were on our honeymoon. We were in Waikiki. And we went into a Sephora. My lovely husband was like, treat yourself. So I did. The thing with the Nirvana perfumes is the label is really, really hard to read. And I could not. I thought it was Nirvana Bourbon. I had no idea. I wasn't really paying close attention. Turns out that was Nirvana Rose. That smells so, so good. But this is also really nice. It's just this warm, oh my God. If I didn't have a scented lotion on right now, I would totally put this on. Maybe I could layer it. I don't know. What does it smell like? It's got like a hint of leather, which doesn't sound very good. Definitely some vanilla. It's like a leathered vanilla. I can't describe scents, but it smells beautiful. And if you are looking for a good cruelty-free fragrance, this line is really nice. So I have the Nirvana Rose and the Nirvana Bourbon. I would like to try Nirvana Black, but Haven't yet. All right, you guys, that is going to do it for this month's favorites video. I would love to hear if you have any product recommendations. So if you do, comment down below. Let me know what they are. What have you been loving? And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that if you guys enjoyed the video, you'll give me a thumbs up, subscribe before you go, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.